Mexico has a very particular way of turning almost anything into art. It does it with food, music, textiles, and, of course, with the way hair is styled and adorned. During Mexico's Independence Day celebrations, hairstyles stop being merely a beauty detail and become small statements of identity. Some are inspired by centuries-old traditions. Others were born from popular creativity and became recognizable symbols at town squares, fairs, and celebrations. What is fascinating is that behind many of these styles are real stories, indigenous, European, and regional influences that few people know about. Some look as if they came straight out of an old painting. Others could be mistaken for a traveling piece of folk art. So today, I'm going to tell you which hairstyles are inspired by Mexico, and above all, which ones attract the most attention during Mexican Independence Day celebrations. So if you want to see how we style our hair to celebrate this special day, stay and watch this video. Number 1. Braids with tricolor ribbons. If there is one hairstyle that sums up Mexico's Independence Day celebrations in a single image, this is probably it. Braids decorated with green, white, and red ribbons have roots connected to Mexican folk traditions, in which ribbons were part of women's clothing and adornments in different regions of the country. Over time, the national colors were incorporated as a way of celebrating Mexican identity. The result is surprisingly simple and eye-catching at the same time. The ribbons look like brushstrokes of color running through the hair, almost as if the Mexican flag had decided to transform itself into a hairstyle. And here's something interesting. Although it may seem like a recent trend, ribbons have been used to decorate hair for centuries in different Mexican communities. Number 2. Flower crowns inspired by Frida Kahlo. Few images are as recognizable around the world as Frida Kahlo wearing flowers in her hair. Although many people believe she invented this style, the reality is different. Frida was inspired by the traditional clothing of Tehuana women from the Isthmus of Tehuantepec in Oaxaca, a region famous for its elaborate floral headdresses. When someone wears a flower crown during Mexico's Independence Day celebrations, they are actually evoking a cultural tradition that existed long before Frida became an international icon. The flowers seem to transform the head into a walking garden. It is impossible to go unnoticed, and that was precisely one of the traditional purposes of these adornments, to highlight the presence and personality of the person wearing them. Number 3. The bun with a rebozo or embroidered fabric. Some hairstyles simply look elegant, and then there's this one, which seems to tell an entire story. The rebozo is one of Mexico's most representative garments and has been used for centuries. Some women incorporate small pieces of embroidered fabric or ribbons inspired by rebozos to decorate low buns. The visual effect is fascinating. The hair becomes the center of a composition in which colors, textures, and embroidery evoke Mexican artisan markets. It's like carrying a small folk art exhibition on your head without having to pay an admission fee. Number 4. Adelita-style braids. The Mexican Revolution left behind heroes, legends, and an aesthetic that remains alive more than a century later. The famous Adelitas, women who actively participated in the revolution, are often portrayed wearing long braids. Although historical photographs show a variety of hairstyles, braids became one of the most recognizable symbols associated with these women. That is why many people recreate this hairstyle during September. What is interesting is that behind the image lies a real story of courage. Each braid seems like a rope woven with memories of an era that transformed the country. Number 5. The bun decorated with paper flowers. Paper flowers have a long tradition in Mexico, especially during popular celebrations. Incorporating them into a hairstyle is a creative way of bringing together craftsmanship and beauty. Low buns decorated with brightly colored paper flowers recall the decorations that fill streets and town squares during festivities. Sometimes the result is so colorful that it looks as if a piñata decided to reinvent itself as a professional hairstylist. However, behind that festive appearance lies an authentic artisan tradition passed down from generation to generation. Number 6. Braids inspired by Mexican indigenous communities. Mexico is home to enormous cultural diversity. Many indigenous communities preserve traditional hairstyles that are an important part of their identity. In regions of Oaxaca, Chiapas, and other parts of the country, braids have important cultural and aesthetic meanings. Some are accompanied by ribbons, woven textiles, or specific adornments associated with each community. It is important to remember that these styles are not simply fashion trends. They are living cultural expressions that reflect history, belonging, and tradition. Each braid can be seen as a line written in a book whose story is still being told. Number 7. The hairstyle with marigold flowers. Although marigolds are primarily associated with Day of the Dead, this flower is native to Mexico and has enormous cultural significance. Its characteristic intense orange color has been appreciated since pre-Hispanic times. Incorporating flowers that resemble or are inspired by marigolds into a hairstyle creates a spectacular visual effect. It looks as if tiny suns had become trapped between strands of hair. It is no coincidence that this flower has been so highly valued for centuries. Its color is so intense that it is almost impossible to ignore. Number 8. The half-up hairstyle with tricolor bows. Sometimes the most popular hairstyles are the least complicated. A half-up hairstyle decorated with green, white, and red bows is a favorite during September because it combines practicality with symbolism. Its popularity demonstrates something interesting. You don't always need an elaborate hairstyle to communicate a message. In fact, sometimes a simple touch of color can attract more attention than a hairstyle so complicated it seems capable of defying the laws of physics. Number 9. Ponytails with Mexican artisan accessories. Accessories made by Mexican artisans have gained international recognition thanks to their unique designs. Adding embroidered textiles, chaquira beads, or small handmade ornaments to a simple ponytail can completely transform the final look. It's like turning an everyday hairstyle into a miniature cultural display. What is extraordinary is that many of these artisan techniques have decades or even centuries of history behind them. Number 10. The hairstyle inspired by charrería escaramuzas. Escaramuzas are part of the tradition of charrería, which has been recognized as intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO since 2016. The women who participate typically wear elegant hairstyles featuring buns, ribbons, and floral adornments that complement their traditional outfits. These styles convey strength, discipline, and elegance all at once. It is an unusual combination, as if someone decided to mix the precision of an athlete with the elegance of a formal gala and discovered that both could coexist perfectly. Number 11. Side braids with folk-inspired details. This style takes inspiration from Mexican regional dances, where hairstyles often complement colorful costumes full of movement. Side braids decorated with ribbons or flowers evoke traditional dances that have been passed down through generations. When the wearer turns or moves, the ribbons seem to follow the rhythm of an invisible song. Perhaps that is why these hairstyles work so well for celebrations. They look as if they were made for dancing. Number 12. Low bun with red, white, and green roses. This hairstyle brings together Mexico's national colors in an elegant and sophisticated way. Roses in green, white, and red create a composition that subtly recalls the Mexican flag without reproducing it literally. The result is refined, festive, and timeless, because there is something interesting about symbols. When they are used creatively, they are often much more powerful than when they are displayed in an obvious way. When looking at these hairstyles, it is easy to think that they are simply options for looking beautiful during September. However, behind every braid, flower, ribbon, or bun lies something much deeper. There are traces of indigenous cultures, memories of the Mexican Revolution, centuries-old artisan traditions, regional influences, and expressions of identity that have survived the passage of time. Hair then becomes something like a canvas where Mexico paints fragments of its history. And perhaps that is the biggest surprise of all. These hairstyles do more than simply adorn the person wearing them. They also tell stories. Stories of women, communities, artisans, and entire generations who left invisible traces among ribbons, flowers, and braids. After learning about them, the title suddenly seems too simple, because we are not just talking about hairstyles for Mexico's Independence Day celebrations. We are talking about small works of art that have been celebrating what it means to be Mexican for centuries. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel.